Ottawa is under a state of emergency today with a rainstorm threatening to make already major flooding even worse. Environment Canada has issued a rainfall warning for Ottawa and the region, with residents, officials and volunteers frantically working to prepare for the worst. We begin with CTV's Christina Succi, who's in Constance Bay, where Premier Doug Ford toured the flood zone this morning. Christina.
That's right, Michael. He did. He was actually right behind me earlier today, helping fill up some sandbags, meeting the volunteers who were working feverishly around him, just filling up sandbags and loading them into the car because they just couldn't get those sandbags to their homes fast enough. And that is why the troops are here, because they are going to help with that. They're going to be filling up those sandbags and actually hand delivering them to homes, helping build sandbag walls around homes that can still be saved. Now, that's very important. Homes that can still be saved is the priority, because I've spoken to the troops and they have told me that there are homes that can no longer be saved, and essentially they won't be wasting their time with sandbags or trying to protect those homes anymore. We want to save the ones that still can be saved. Now, the Premier toured for himself. He said it was one thing to see these images and pictures through the media, but it's another to see it in person, just saying it's absolutely devastating. And if Ottawa needs the province, they will be there. Here's more from the Premier.
This is absolutely heart-wrenching. We came back from Muskoka. They're facing the same situation. We're here just to assess and evaluate the situation and talk to the people. I've always said, you know, people ask me, well, why did you come in? It's one thing to see it on the cameras. It's another thing when you talk to the people face to face, and it just rips your heart out.
Now, I also asked the Premier directly if he thought that calling in the Army was the right decision, and he did not hesitate. He said absolutely that this community needs it and needs the support, because right now we are battling a losing battle. Those are words actually from Councillor Eli El-Shantiri, saying that this is not the worst, that this will get more extreme as we make our way into the weekend. As you can see, the rain is coming down and it's not showing any signs of letting up. So we're going to go back into the residents' homes a little later on, and we'll have those incredible pictures for you at 5 and 6, Michael.
All right, CTV's Christina Succi reporting live from Constance Bay. Thank you, Christina. Well, east of the capital, the flood relief efforts continue after a dramatic rise in water levels. CTV's Katie Griffin is in Cumberland with the latest. Katie.
Well, Michael, I can tell you what a difference a few days make. I was able to walk along this road and one road over. There was no water. Now you can see it is dramatically different. If I walk a little bit behind me, it quickly rises to my knees, then almost at my waist. We spoke to a woman who says that she has about 6 inches before the water starts to get into her home. And then she says at that point, in her words, we're doomed. So she's taken steps today. She's moved all of her appliances up a floor. She's had a lot of help doing that. Now, we spoke with the councillor for the area, Stephen Blais, and he says that right now, early predictions are that we may not get to levels seen or exceed 2017, but of course the rain is still coming down. There's a lot of wind, and so he says that could very well change. And later this afternoon, he says we are expecting about 30 troops to be on the ground in Cumberland. Michael.
All right, CTV's Katie Griffin reporting live from Cumberland. That's quite a sight behind you, Katie. Well, in Gatineau, hundreds of people have registered for flood assistance, and the mayor has just given an update on the latest there. CTV's Joanne Schnur joins us now live from Gatineau. Joanne, what did the mayor have to say?
That's right, Michael. I'm standing outside the city's emergency response center, and the mayor just held a news conference to update us on what's happening in his city. Obviously, this rain coming down heavily is not good news for this region. 20 to 35 millimeters expected over the next day or so. So the mayor says he's anticipating fully that we will exceed those 2017 flood levels by Monday or Tuesday of this week, and he expects they will remain that way for a sustained period of time, probably 2 weeks, which means those people who have had to leave their homes will be out of their homes for some time. So at the moment, there are about 1,800 houses affected, some 4,000 people in the flood zone. That's not how many people are flooded out there. There are some 726 people who are registered with those aid centers. So those folks will be out of their homes for some time. At this point, the mayor has not declared a state of emergency, but here in Gatineau, the mayor does have special powers. He's put a measure of emergency in place, which means he can access funds when he needs them. He's already asked for about $1 million worth of funds to help him with fund relief. Michael.
CTV's Joanne Schnur reporting live from Gatineau, where you can see the rain is starting to fall pretty heavy. Thank you, Joanne. Several communities are under a state of emergency in our region, including Ottawa, Gatineau, Clarence, Rockland, Pontiac, Whitewater region, Val-de-Mont, Saint-André-Avelin. The water levels continue to rise today. Let's take a look at the latest numbers from the Ottawa River Regulating Committee. At Britannia and Lac du Chien, the Ottawa River rose 6 centimeters overnight and is expected to rise another 68 centimeters by its peak on Monday. At the Hull Marina, the river is up 11 centimeters from last night today and is expected to rise almost another meter before peaking on Tuesday. An important number for the City of Ottawa: if you need help for sandbags now or to help clean up in the days to come, you can register with the City of Ottawa by calling 211. Let's go to JJ Clark. As we saw from all those live shots from our reporters, the rain is falling pretty heavily right now.
Yeah, and it's tough on the spirit of all the people that are working really hard to try and save their properties, and we'll make our way through it with a little help from our friends, thankfully. Rainfall warning remains in effect for the rest of the day today, and it'll change over to or mix with some wet snow overnight and into the day tomorrow. 20 to 35 across the board, and certainly coming up cooler on the weekend with the rain mixing with snow tomorrow morning. I think that's probably what you're going to be seeing. 7 degrees our current temperature with a breeze out of the northeast. It's getting windy, a falling barometer, some wet weather to negotiate. Hey, Sunday looks a lot better. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up, Michael.